Okay. So, how's it going?
Good.
All right. So, you are a glitch hunter, right?
Yeah, primarily, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I went to your YouTube channel and I saw that you got a couple of interesting videos. Did you find all these tricks, or are these documented, or?
Pretty sure like all the videos, unless it specifies otherwise in the description, like all the ones on my channel are ones I found.
Gotcha. Hang on, your mic sounds a little robot-y.
Nope.
Hang on. Okay, round 2. So you were saying the glitches on your channel you've mostly found, right?
Yeah, I'm. It's either all of them or like almost all of them.
Gotcha.
I can't remember
Okay.
if there's any specific ones, but
Okay, cool. Because I noticed there's a lot of Paper Mario TTYD stuff. I love TTYD, by the way.
Yeah, that's my main game that I work on. So
nice. Yeah, I a bit of a tangent. I want to pick up the game, but it looks a little intimidating. So I'm I'll learn it one of these days, but I am a little like palace skip sounds really hard, and
yeah, that's the general opinion about it.
Yeah.
been trying to like solve that problem for quite a while.
Yeah. Well, it's because gosh, I remember I followed the history a little bit for a while. Palace skip was like the holy grail. And then finally we got it, but it's like it's hard. But I mean, listen, I'm glad that we have it. It's just
Yeah.
I mean,
things are still moving in that game, so like I'm sure we'll find something else eventually.
I'm sure. TTYD has had a very interesting. It's a shame that sorry, not that it's a shame. So Malio did a video on the world record history. This would, if he didn't, I would 100% do a video on this because
I mean his video is pretty outdated already. So
I guess that's true. I don't know. I'd have to pass it by him because I would feel really bad if we did a video that he's already done.
I could mention it to him. I talked to him quite a bit. So
okay, well, if you want to,
see what his opinion is.
We would love to cover it. So, but anyways, I digress. Getting back to Minish Cap. So you found some stuff in Cave of Flames, specifically with the diagonal angle stuff. So what made you? So you said you're mainly a TTYD glitch hunter. What brought you to Minish Cap in the first place?
Well, usually when I'm like, kind of getting burnout or like bored with a certain game, like I'll just kind of like look and see what else there is that I haven't looked at before. And usually I'll look for something that like sometimes I'll go for random games, but usually it'll be like stuff that I've played in the past. So like I played that game like multiple times as a kid. So I was like, and I knew like some things about the speedrun. So I was kind of just like, well, I'll look and see like what we got to work with here, and just kind of turned into like messing around, see. And then I heard about what is the skipping Palace of Winds. That's like frame perfect, really difficult.
Yeah. Ocarina glitch, cutscene Ocarina glitch.
Yeah,
whatever.
like that trick where it just like wasn't good for runs. It was like a bunch of runs would die to that, and I was just like, well, maybe if I can solve that, that'd be cool. And then it ended up happening like way faster than I anticipated. So
yeah, and in a way better way too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like really easy too. Like I don't think anyone's really said it's a hard trick.
No, I don't think it is. I think it is a hard trick. Like just when I look at it, it's like you use Kanepaki, and then you just go in there and you jump out with a diagonal angle, and then you just like hold shield and you reposition, you do it again, and all of a sudden you're on a weird layer and you could just go whatever you want, right? Like
yeah, kind of like the dream, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, like it's repeatable. So if you fail it, you can retry it. It's fast. I think it only takes like 10 to 15 seconds to set up or whatever, right? Like it's super easy.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Yeah, it's very, very helpful. So I'm sure everyone really, really appreciates it. One of the main points of this video is that, yeah, literally the cutscene Ocarina glitch was so bad that it was killing the run. The community more or less was like, we don't want to play this game anymore because this trick sucks.
Yeah.
Right. So you more or less you saved the day. I don't know if anyone else has told you that, but I think.
Yeah, they made it pretty clear.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you understand the gravitas of the situation.
The funny thing about it though is that I didn't even like directly find that skip. Like
Mhm.
I was doing stuff in Cave of Flames, and then like after I found the glitch, someone else I forget who exactly it was, but someone else was like, "Oh, we can use this to, bypass the dumb skip in Palace of Winds." And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, well, I was gonna look at that when I got there, but I guess the job's already done."
Well, there you go. All right. So go ahead and tell me, I guess, either not your whole process, obviously, but how exactly did you kind of start digging around with this whole diagonal stuff, and how did it sort of come about?
I don't remember the exact specifics on how like it came about, but I just like generally I'll use addresses and stuff, and just like they had like a list of some of them, so I was looking at like just all of those, and I noticed like weird things with the holes, like when you jump out at an angle, and then I was like, well, what if I go into the hole with Kamapaki, like just use it on the hole and then like see what happens. And
Mhm.
I had messed with the layer stuff before, like I was kind of like obsessing over that when looking at things. I was like, can I get onto layer 2, or can I get up a layer without like with ways other than the ocarina glitch? And so when I was looking at that, that was kind of my hope. But then when I did it the first time, it didn't work. So I was like, well, I guess this is useless. Like I don't, because like it didn't do what I expected. But
Mhm.
then when I went and tested it in other spots, like maybe not even half an hour later, like I'd already said like, oh, I think this is useless on the server. But then like half an hour later, I was like, oh wait, this is broken,
Just
because
kidding.
it put me on the second layer, and I was like, okay, I guess we have a skip. So, and then that kind of just led to like all the other stuff with it, where it's just like, I was like, well, if this is weird, then like, does it do anything weird with other things? And then that's how we found out about the pulling objects.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that when you pull statues, it pulls it in weird directions, and that's
Yeah,
pretty
so it
nice.
kind of like takes the object and like you pull it in the opposite direction that you're facing. So if you're at a diagonal direction, when you're pulling an object, it'll go in the opposite diagonal direction, and it's kind of like not meant to handle that, so it has some weird results.
Mhm. My theory is that because, well, I guess whenever you're pulling, I think that it uses Link's collision as like a check to see if it can move somewhere. So because it doesn't move diagonally normally, it doesn't even check for collision. So if Link can move, then it'll just move it. So that's why you can pull it like wherever you want.
Yeah, maybe because you're going at a diagonal, since you can move like to the left, like if you're moving at a diagonal, and then the wall's like perpendicular to your movement, like you'll still go in a direction. So I guess
Mhm.
if you're still moving, it'll consider that movement.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very strange, but it does. It's actually really. I mean, not actually. It's super useful and super cool. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
luckily, oh sorry.
go ahead.
That's just gonna say, luckily, all the things that I found are easy. Usually, the stuff I find is like frame perfect or like really hard.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's good you found some easy ones.
yeah,
Okay. And then you said somebody else just took your idea and applied it in Palace of Winds without you
yeah,
even.
because like I hadn't looked at that area yet because I was still just like playing through the game, messing around
Mhm.
again. And so they knew about the spot, like having holes or whatever, and just tried it there, and we're like, oh, well, we can use this. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's my job done, like in that area,
Mhm.
because I didn't even have to get there in order to indirectly find it. It's pretty funny.
There you go. Um, have you found anything else outside of Cave of Flames or Palace of Winds?
Not that saves time. Like there's stuff like different out of bounds using like the what are they called? Like the little crab guys with the shells. I can't remember their
Mhm.
names.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you can kind of clip them into the loading zone to do a similar thing to one of the skips with the small key skip
Mhm.
to like kind of remove the loading trigger. But then there's some other like out of bounds with the mushroom. But I think that's basically it. Like there wasn't really anything else after that, and I kind of like moved away from the game again. But I do plan
Okay.
on going back at some point. Just kind of I jump around games a lot.
That's fair. That's fair. I get you. Okay. You mentioned the small key thing. We haven't gotten there yet. Tell me about that one. So how does that work?
So that's using what we talked about with the pulling objects in diagonal directions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can actually pull them through the wall. So if you go like near the loading zone and pull it up left, like you kind of start down right from where the loading trigger is, where you want to
Mhm.
actually walk past, and then you pull it up into it. And then at that point, it just removes the loading trigger on that tile, so you can go up and pull it back down, and then put it in the hole. And then you can get the key and also go out of bounds and skip a bunch of stuff, because you can go like when you're out of bounds in Minish Cap, it's kind of weird. Like you're actually going into like the space beyond the map, but
Mhm.
not really. Like it's not actually there, but the loading trigger will still work extending past the room. So if you
Yeah.
hit the loading trigger, it will treat it as if you're above the room and it could put you in a completely different room.
Yeah, it's weird how that works. But it's like keeping track of your coordinates, and then as soon as you hit a loading zone, it's like, okay, now you're in that room now.
Yeah, there's like it's like a designated map, like the whole. So you'll have like a dungeon. Even the different floors seem to be on the same map.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like an area value and like kind of areas within that area.
Mm-hmm.
And so as long as you're at the right coordinates, if you like pass the trigger, you can like load stuff in that kind of like block. Like you have a bunch of different like sections.
Nice. Okay. Do you happen to know how much time any of these save?
I know the small key skip saves around 30 seconds,
Okay.
and I don't remember how much the other stuff saves overall. It
Okay.
was quite a bit. It was like definitely minutes.
Yeah. I'll verify with them. I was just curious if you knew off the top of your head. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I have a whole lot of questions for you because you don't run this game. You
Yeah,
just
but
do
like my history with the game is like pretty
very short.
short.
It's very significant though, so that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to get you in, because I was like, ooh, found the guy who found the skips. That's so cool. So you effectively saved the Minish Cap. So thought
Yeah,
I had
and
to get you in.
just had to crash in there and do my thing, I guess.
There you go. All right. Well, yeah, I don't think I have any other questions for you, unless you have any tidbits that you wanted to say before we call it.
No, I guess that's about it.
Okay.
Like, I mean, just thanks to the community for like, being cool and welcoming me when I was kind of just like chilling there for like a few weeks.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let me go ahead and end this recording here. But thanks for chatting.